I'm just a little old lady in tennis shoes that decided in 2016 that just because I was in my 90s didn't mean that I had to sit in that rocking chair and wait for the Lord to come get me. In fact, he's going to have to catch me. So I discussed it with some people and gathered some folk at my church, Baker Chapel, African Methodist Episcopal Church. I started my walk from Fort Worth, Texas to Washington, D.C. I do 2.5 miles in the afternoon and 2.5 miles in the morning to signify that slaves in Texas didn't know they were free for 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. Well, I got past Arlington, Texas, and Grand Prairie, Texas, and Dallas, Texas, and Box Springs, Texas, and Joppa before my team says, it's not going to be like that. And their reasoning was that somebody had promised us an RV, so I didn't have to go back home each evening. So I was only going to towns and cities that had Juneteenth festivals, or if I was invited. And so I was invited all over these United States. Oh, I went to Texarkana, Shreveport, Fort Smith, and Denver, and Michigan, Madison, and Milwaukee, and St. Louis, and Atlanta, and the Carolinas. I was all over the place. And so I got to Washington January 10th, 2017. We had asked President Obama to walk with us from the Frederick Douglass House to the Capitol, but he was in Chicago. I didn't get what I wanted, but I didn't give up. So I'm still trying. And what we did was bring 1,500,000 signatures to Congress yesterday. And we plan to bring another 1,500,000 in January, because there's no reason why we can't get people to understand that Juneteenth is a unifier. When the slaves were freed, it wasn't their doing. It took Quakers, John Brown, it took Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman and Sojourner Truth and they did it together. And I can't see why we can't address the disparities in our country together. We need to do something about our school systems that are not giving us the history as it should be told. Job disparities where we're not getting the money that everybody equal. Climate change, we need so desperately to do something about climate change. Health care, all these things need to be addressed, and we could do it together. We could really do it together. And we see Juneteenth as being a unifier. We see it, I even want it to be celebrated from the 19th of June to the 4th of July, in as much as slaves weren't free on the 4th of July, 1776. But it all boils down to freedom. And none of us are free until we're all free. And so that's what I, in my old age, keep telling people, that in order for this to be the country of the free and the brave and all those good things, we're going to have to work together to do it. There simply is no other way. I thank you for listening.